McKay was there.
Tell me what you know about him.
We used his hat, you know, to take the collection up, the financial part of the guild, get it started. And we put $20 each in that hat. And that started probably about 20 or 30 of us, I don't remember exactly what, that began the guild. Sam Welch, Bob Evans, Marty Rubino, Scott Pilkington.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, you were there a little later.
I was a little
you
later.
Were right there pretty close to the front of it. Wasn't an originating member, but you were there pretty close to the front of it. What's that, Liz?
Marty Rubino.
Marty,
Mike Duber.
Michael Duber.
I'm trying to remember that.
TJK.
Ben Lane. Frank Hendrix.
Giuseppe Forte.
Giuseppe, yep.
I haven't thought about this in a long time, so I have to sit down and think about it.
And Roger Bleile, of course, was there.
So I didn't really know Roger that well at first, except that I know that he played a big role in getting us all together and writing his first book.
Yeah, his first book was. I mean, I got that book and the Meeks book, and the skill levels very quickly became apparent to me, the differences in the book, you know, from really great engravers to mediocre.
Well, and E.C. Prudhomme had that first book too that had a picture representation of engravers around the country, real good photographs, you know, of engravers, and mostly about him, about his engraving.
Right.
But it was really a good study book.
I was reading the name of that race.
I don't remember how soon after I started engraving I got the Meeks book, but it was pretty early when I got the Meeks book. And I didn't know James Meeks real well, but I knew of him and knew what he looked like and seen him around.
Now, was he a founding member of the guild?
This is where
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think so. I think we just all kind of admired the book, even though it was way over most of our heads at that time. And he was a good guy. I did meet him. And really a humble man. And
well, what about Frank Hendrix? He was the first president of the guild.
Yeah, Frank.
Did you know him before this all got together, I would imagine?
I knew of him. We didn't meet each other until we started forming together, but I knew of him. I knew who he was, and I knew what he was. I knew where he lived. But when we met, was in the environment of our formation of the guild. And he's a great guy, walking encyclopedia, and he had more ways of doing the same thing that I ever saw. He did a lot of work with etching and stuff like that, and some of the multicolored metals on top of each other, you know, and all that sort of stuff. Did beautiful work. I never thought he got as much credit as he deserved. Of course, he trained a lot of engravers.
Yeah, I mean, that was really, well, probably my tipping point was I got to spend a week with him out there, I guess, in 1984, which he was the one that encouraged me to join the guild.
Yeah.
And it was
exactly right.
Because I had been told before, oh, you shouldn't join the guild. They're a bunch of snobby engravers and they won't tell you anything, blah, blah, blah. That was just a bunch of bull.
Oh, that reminds me of a story where I'd gone to a show and there was this guy working at the show. He had his tools there and was using a hammer and chisel, and so I walked up to his table and was looking at his work, and I asked him, I said, you a member of the guild? He said, oh, no. He said, it's a bunch of prima donnas, and I don't care about being involved with those guys. And I said, well, did you learn that from first experience, or did you hear that from somebody? He said, well, I heard it from somebody. I said, do you let somebody else make up your mind about that? And he said, no. And by the time I got through talking with him, he was willing to go find out more about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he ever joined it or not, but kind of toned him down a little bit.
Yeah. So, tell me how you met Linton Mackenzie. What's your memories of him?
Well, I don't know exactly where. Of course, one of the shows I met him at, and and everybody had told me he was kind of stiff, you know, and so like a lot of people that you meet along the way, you used to get a wrong impression from a first impression of somebody else. He's really a neat guy. He was quite fun to be around. If he just turned himself loose a little bit, you know. But he was a neat guy.
I just thought
I always wondered though why he withdrew from all of his friends and everything at the end there. Never really understood that very much. But that's the way it was.
Did he? I know he came to the guild shows a couple of times. I can remember him walking through back in the mid '80s.
Yeah, he did.
And then he joined the guild a few years later. Seems like.
He came several times, and I didn't really get to know him very well until right there at the last. And I went and sat down with him one time, and he kind of opened up, and I guess he felt comfortable around me. I don't know.
I made him talk to us.
Telling us about some of his stories, and like I say, it was a lot of fun.
Blowing across.
I think that's the key of you, Liz, and I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
Is you made a lot of people talk. You would you didn't have no enemies, or everybody was your friends. I'm gonna get out here and picture the stockyards we're passing here. And smell them too. I wonder if I can get that on this video.
Yeah, that's the future beef of America.
Yep, there's your steaks on the plate, folks. Coming to a.
Standing up with their knees in the ground.
That's sick.
Yeah. And look at them out there on them silage piles standing. That's the king of the hills out there. Oh man.
Gosh, that was bad.
And then we got these big fans over here blowing that smell away.
Oh yeah, right. There's a little road a bit.
What?